Hey everybody, and welcome to DC Fine Art. How is everybody today? I know it's been definitely a rush for me. I've been having some issues with some of my, I don't know what it is, like either I'm running too many things at once or what, but I'm having some electrical stuff problems. And I don't know, I had this camera here usually shines down and shows like some of my product. It's not working. So don't know what the deal is. I'm hoping everything still stays okay. And just wanted to give you guys kind of a fair warning too. If the video completely cuts out. Hey Barbara, nice to have you here. All right. Yeah, I've been having a lot of problems, and so I'm hoping that not like everything, just like the power doesn't like cut out. I'm not for sure if I'll have to hurry up and start another one, like do another video section or something. I'm gonna have to do something if that happens, which that'll be all new for me. I've never done that before. So anyways, today we're going to be working with Inktense. I think you guys saw that in the picture. Kind of gave you guys also a little hint of what I'll be doing. And it's going to be a little flower with a little ladybug on it. So we're going to see what we can do using both the Inktense blocks and the Inktense pencils. So I do have both of them with me. I have already done a pre-color chart, like little color chart of all the different colors. I just kind of kept it ever since I done one, so that way I don't have to keep making one after another after another. So I think I got everything together. Let's go ahead and point it down to our desk here. Yeah, there we go. So right here, I've got my mop brush. I absolutely love these mop brushes. I got a few of them. When they're new, they kind of tend to shed a little bit. I do have like some of the smaller ones and they don't shed as much. The bigger one seems to be shedding the most, but as starting. But other than that, they're really good. They do a fantastic job. I can't talk today, so please forgive me on my words. But this here is a Gilder's Dusting Oval Mop, and I ended up getting this, I think it's like for automobiles. It was like really weird because I looked it up trying to find it, and it's for like doing like dusting, like gold dusts or gold flakes, and it's for automobiles. But anyways, I really do love this brush as being like a mop brush, and it's got a really long handle on it too. So we are going to use that. I've got plenty of my watercolor or my water brushes here. So I got different brands. I mean, I got some of these cheaper brands, I think by Pentel. I got my Caran d'Ache one, but I usually just kind of leave these separate so that way I know I use them on my ink. So different sizes. I just grabbed a handful, so there was, I don't know what types I have here, if they're big brushes, small brushes, or what, or if some of them don't have water in them, but they look to be, yeah, they already got water in some of them. And then I'm going to use my regular brushes. Excuse me. So the reference photo, and you know what, I didn't even get the reference photo for you guys and put it on here. I wonder if I can do that while I'm live streaming. I've never actually done that before. Let's see if we can. Let's go ahead and add an image to our screen so that way you guys will see the reference photo. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I think you guys can. There it is. So let's go ahead and open it. Okay. And let's kind of bring, I don't know what this looks like on your guys' side, but we are going to shrink this down and put in the reference photo. Of course, I found this reference photo on Pixabay. There we go. I think I can fit it in. Watch me fit it in right on top of my painting. So let me make my picture a little bit smaller here. There we go. So that is the reference photo that we are going to be working on today. So it's going to be a little flower and of course a little ladybug on it. And let me get everything kind of maneuvered here. And I don't need this camera. This camera here went kaput on me. So I'm not for sure where I'm going to stick it. Maybe right there. If everything just don't collapse on me. You just never know. So here's my color chart that I have of the Inktense pencils. So I just listed them down here with the names and then the little color right next to it. And yeah, I've been kind of avoiding saying the word because I'm having trouble saying it right. But then on the back here, I know I put an X there. I just did a color swatch, and as you can tell, this has been put everywhere since I got marks on it. But just a simple little color swatch, and how I did that was I opened up my tray, and there is, let's see here. So we got the greens and the gold. So basically, by looking at my color swatch and looking at this right here with the greens and the golds, it would start out with this one as being the first one, and then it would make its way all the way down to the last one, and then I would go back up, and there is a white there, just you can't see it on camera, and then it would go all the way down here with these colors. So then on this chart here would be our second row, because this one here that I got is one of the bigger sets. I think it's the biggest set you can get. This is tray number, I think I put number 1 on it. I don't know why I did that in tray number 2. But then I put the color swatch, since there is no name, right here, going all the way down to the blue, the yellow, all the way down. And since they don't have names on them, it is really hard to, you know, distinctly say a name to it. There's 72, so the set that I have is a 72 set of the Inktense. Almost forgot what I was working with. That's bad. So the majority of the colors that I'm going to be working with, I know I do have reds. For the ladybug, we're going to end up doing that, and I'll probably use some of the purples too to kind of give, I could work with the purples, but that'll probably give more of the shadow to the ladybug if needed. So let's go ahead and put this in the right way. And we'll start off with a lot of our greens. Now the pencils, I'll usually work on those. I'll use those last. So instead of just going in with just straight up pencils, I usually want to start out with doing a background using the blocks. And then I end up filling in with the more of the details or adding in some extra colors and using that next, like last for the details. Now, if you're wondering why I have all these lines, well, actually, I'll need to move this. You guys can't see. So I do have some lines that are drew out on this paper, if you can see it all. I may have to adjust this just a bit, so hold on one second. Doing everything at the last moment. There we go. Okay, if it sits still. I also have my reference photo right here in front of me on a tablet, so I can see that. But I've got a lot of these lines drawn in on my paper. This here, the paper that I'm using is a Arches hot press watercolor paper, and so it's really smooth. It's 140 pounds, and it's a 9x12, which, you know, I wanted to kind of bring it down to a 8x10, and that way it's more easily to mat and put into a frame instead of going with a 9x12, which would be a little bit more custom. So this is why I have that done. Now I went ahead and instead of just drawing it out, freehand drawing it, putting a lot of eraser marks or anything like that, like I, you know, did with the pumpkin, much easier to cover. I went ahead and just transferred this image on here. So just made it really simple. You can kind of tell it's kind of rough. And that's just how I transfer. So I transfer, I don't know, I think my drawing actually looks more accurate than a transfer. So I'll just take a eraser and I'll just kind of, say kind of. What I'll do is just kind of take some of that down. I'll still be able to see my marks. And I left it dark so that way you can kind of see what I did. And that way you can see the reference. But I don't really need it that dark, especially if we're working with a lighter color, such as the white for the flower. Even though Inktense is very opaque, and I should be able to color over it just fine, I like to not have that much pencil on my paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove it with this eraser. And yeah, even if I was working and I, you know, freehand drew this on there, you would have a lot of marks that I've erased, and you would be looking at it like, okay, so you erase this mark and then put this mark over here, then you got to erase it down again just to kind of get rid of some of that graphite on the paper, and then you got more than one line and you're wondering which one's your real one and which one's your one you're goofed up on. So this is to make sure there is no goof up marks, unless, here we go. Here's another way you guys can do it. If any of y'all like to just draw and get your design on there and do it your, you know, do it freehand way, I would definitely suggest, might as well, I'm just gonna take and use my brush and get it all over the place. I'll have to vacuum. I am covered. That eraser left a lot of dust. Actually, it's not even dust. It's like thicker than dust. I am covered. It'll be okay. So if you want to freehand draw, like I was saying, I would suggest drawing out your image on a separate piece of paper, and then you can take that piece of paper, trace it, your own drawing, because you freehanded, trace it, then transfer it onto the paper you'd be working on. That way you can eliminate all those eraser marks. So that's one way to do it also. But if you don't feel like drawing and tracing and transferring and drawing, you know, the whole ordeal, you just want to speed it up, just go ahead and trace it and transfer it. It's okay. So we're going to go ahead and play around with this. I'm going to do the background first, and I do not want to use these. I don't know why I put them in here, but it's these Artify horsehair brushes. I don't know. I absolutely do not like them. And I got a lot of new brushes in here, so I'm just trying to see which one I want to go with. I want to go with probably more of a filbert. Really, that's a horsehair brush. But why does it not feel? Okay, I need to take these suckers out because they're driving me insane. They are just way too fluffy, and then they end up shedding, like a lot of shedding, like beyond normal shedding. You know what? They're gone. They are gone. You look at me so, Barbara says, you make it look so easy. I'm always in all of your work. Oh, well, thank you so much, Barbara. It just takes a lot of time, a lot of practice. Just practice. That's all I can say. Practice, practice, practice. You know how many times I think I messed up before? I messed up a lot. But the whole key to it is as long as you can learn to make corrections, and once you can learn to make those corrections, then it gets easier, because even if you do mess up, you know how to fix it. So you're just like, oh, it's okay. And then you go on and you fix it. So it's just a matter of time and learning is all it is. And here I said I wanted a filbert, and now since I threw away all my horsehair brushes, not really left with a filbert. That's a cat's tongue. All right, well then we'll just go with this oval. It's a number 14, and I think it's like basically a round. It's kind of like a round brush. We'll just use it. Might as well. And we're just going to do our background. And I don't even really have, I mean, I guess I could do a background kind of similar to that as a reference photo, which it looks to me like there's a lot of purples and browns. I'm really thinking that the purples looks really cute. So we'll just go with that. So what I'm going to do is rearrange these. And we are going to look at our purples. And I know that there is this one right here kind of looks kind of good. Or actually this darker one right here. So we're just going to have fun with this one. We're not going to do anything too dramatic. We're just going to have fun. I mean, I always never know what it's going to look like. Whenever I work with Inktense, some of my Inktense ones, it's like, you know, it turns out really good. And then other ones, like, you know, to me, I'm like, no. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see here. 5 down. 1, 2, 3. So it'd be like right in here. And I need to spray my paper. I almost forgot. So I'm using the the ultra fine mist sprayer just to kind of mist this down. I almost forgot to do it and tell you guys about it until I get started, and I'm like, hold on one second. And why you do that is just so that way it gives it more of a softer look instead of having these harsh lines and having a dry rough lines. Oh, that's really funny. So the pencil that I worked on and did my outline drawing of my 8x10, I used a watercolor pencil, like a graphite water soluble pencil. So I have to remind myself, hey, guess what? I need to actually, I'm going to go ahead and spray these. And that's okay to do. Now, I'm using quite a bit of water here. And that is only because I want it to look more softer, not so harsh of lines. Just a really soft look. Let's get around that ladybug there. Now I'm going to try and keep this wet, because the one thing with Inktense is that it is permanent. So you can't rework this. I mean, once it's dry, it's permanent. Unless it's still wet, then you can kind of rework it. But if it dries, it is dry. Now I'm going to hurry up real quick and try and blend this out real quick. I'm going to spray it again. Take my mop brush and see how many hairs I'm going to lose. Wow. Well, that's just nice. The struggle is real. Gotta love it. This is a newer mop brush too, so should have been expecting that to happen. I may end up having to go and downsize to my smaller one. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that real quick. I got, actually, I don't know where my medium size one. This is maybe too small. Oh well, I think it'll work just fine. And I'm just kind of doing little circles. Just to get rid of some of those little lines in there. And then we'll continue on. And we can change up our color a little bit. I know that that was the darker one. We probably want to let that one dry and move up to maybe a different purple. Let's move it up a block. Oh wow, that is really vibrant. That is really, really purple. It's more of a fuchsia looking color. It's okay. You can always put some in here and kind of drag it down. Spray it again. I'm going to go between the two. Where's that other one? And I'm just going to take it right around the edge. It's like a moment of silence. Whenever I'm going into these itty bitty lines, it's like, all right, let's just have a moment of silence here. And then I'll just kind of take it up and around with this little bitty point. That's what I really do like about this brush. It's like got this little tiny, tiny tip on the end of this brush. And you can really get into some of these finer colors or these details in here where it kind of gets a little tight. It can get right up in there just by using that little bitty point. This brush really does serve almost like two purposes here. It can give you a lot of coverage, or it can also get you into those tiny details. And before that dries up, I am going to have to go over that with my mop brush. This is going to be a white flower. I'm getting kind of close to the edge there. There we go. And see, already you can tell that's kind of drying out and leaving some of those marks. So what that tells me is I probably need to get my act together here and use that mop brush before it ends up drying out completely. And I'm just going to take like the edge of it. That way I can kind of get in there. It ain't going to be perfect, but just kind of little bits. Kind of dry that off a little bit. I like these colors. It's really pretty. Kind of went over the top of that. That'll should be fine. It's going to be a green. But just being careful right around my flower area. Okay, so we're going to continue on. Let us go ahead and go up to the next level on this. Let's go up to the next level. Let's do number 2. Mention spray again. Ooh, getting carried away here. I think I just went off my table. That absolutely happens. Get carried away and having fun, and what do? You go off your table. And I want to thank you all for joining. I'm so happy that you all decided to make it. And you're more than welcome to leave a comment, or, you know, just say hi, or if you want, you could always just ask questions whenever you need, you know, if you have a question, feel free to ask it. That's what I'm here for. We're here to have fun, have an art chat while going over this. Definitely a fun place to be where you can chat. Oh, and I do have something else that I can kind of talk to you guys about. I've been doing some research on some different like little art boxes and still wanting to try new ones out. I did get some recommendations for some boxes that were enjoyed by other subscribers who really enjoyed their boxes. And so I kind of looked into it, and I kind of made my judgment, because a lot of the art boxes, I like to look at the ones that are like done by monthly boxes, where you can get the subscription box every month. And it's just me personally that is very impatient, who just wants to get a box every month and not have to wait, you know, 3 months to get one. And so I look at some of the ones where I can get a monthly box and be surprised, you know. I don't really want to have to choose which box, you know, I want. I just want it to come in as a surprise. And I also look at boxes based on price-wise, you know, on if it's like something within my budget. It could be something within your guys' budget to be able to do. But for my budget, it's definitely different. So I can't get every single box out there. It just would be impossible at this time. But I ended up getting another box, so that way I can demonstrate and just open it up and kind of give you my review over a new box that I got. And I'm going to go ahead and break it to you guys. It is the Scrawler box, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, I seen it and just kind of looking at it, and it looked really good, and the prices were very, very reasonable. I mean, I was actually really surprised. I was like, I can afford that. Okay, that's within my budget. So I went ahead and got the Scrawler box. So I can't wait to try it out and do a review on it. And really, in all reality, just kind of looking at that box, it is very, very reasonable a price. So I'm really excited to give it a try. So that review will be coming. I don't know if it'll be here. I don't think it'll be here next month though, because next month I guess since when I made the purchase, it said that it had to be purchased within a certain time frame. Otherwise, I had to wait till the next shipment. And I don't think I made the cutoff. So, I don't think my box will be in for the September one. I think I missed out on September. But I know it should be here at least by October. Yeah. So in October, we'll probably have another art box review. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see here. I did use number 2. Let's see here. I used the lighter one. Let's go back down to this darker purple that we were using before. And just kind of go over the top of this. Let me find. Oops. Get carried away. I have to be careful on this one here because it will be the lighter, the white flower right in that area. Ooh. That went really dark up there. Try and blend some of that out just a little bit. There we go. That looks pretty. And that looks about right. Here I am hitting the camera. So let's go ahead and add just a little bit more this darker color in here. And I'm going to layer on top of this with a little bit more of the darker color. And that's the one thing about this, is just trying to add in layer upon layer, because it's the same thing with pretty much everything. I don't really know too much of stuff where you just don't add in any layers to it. You've got to layer pretty much with everything. Okay, let's add some of this bright color in here. And just kind of layer it in. Let's go dark. I'm just basically making a whole lot of smudges, round circles going back and forth, brighter color up here, and I'm not trying to fill in everything, but I definitely want some bolder colors in there. And then, hope I didn't miss anything. Probably wondering what kind of mess am I making. Just kind of feeling carefree here, because I think it'll be a gorgeous background. Very soft. Let me use this little and then we may end up having to take out the hairdryer, but I've been kind of hesitant on taking out the hairdryer because I'm afraid that all the power would go out. So, oh wait, no, I wouldn't, because I took care of that earlier today. I forgot. My brain is gone. I actually have that plugged into a different thing. So, in all reality, we should not have a trouble. Now, I did get some on the little stem, but that's okay because we're going to be using a green, so that should be fine. Let's go over those edges. I don't want to. We go. That has a beautiful look to it. Oh, what am I doing? Why do I do that? I don't know why I do that, but I take and I do this on my hand, and then you wonder why my hands look so gross. I don't know why. I even do it with my acrylics. It's like I'll end up painting, and then when I get done, I'll end up drying out the brush in my hand. It's like, I don't know why I do it. I'm so goofy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dry this off. I'm going to try and turn this on mute and take this away. So I don't think it'll blow anything off the table. I think it should be fine. Let me just go ahead and mute you guys so that way you don't hurt your ears. All right, so now that I dried this, I can kind of see where there's some touch-up marks. So even though I went over it several times, as you can tell, there's like this circle thing here and some little blotches that I'm just not, I mean, I'm happy with some of these other ones that are on here, but I'm not too happy with this one. It looks like an orb. Or actually it could be like a bouquet, or like one of those bokeh, like little, I don't know. So I could end up messing with that just a little bit more by layering on top, and then we can blow dry it again. So let me go ahead and go in here and try and fix that spot, because I don't want a spot. Like, that wasn't really what I was going for. So I can always just go on top of that, and it adds a little bit more of a darker color. To some of these edges here. So if you want it to go darker, you can. All you got to do is just dry it. And then go over it again. Now, just remember that if you are working with a blow dryer on these and you just did what I did, like just instantly started going over it, mind you, it will dry quicker when it hits the paper. So because your paper is actually heated, it will actually dry quicker because your paper is still warm. So if you're wanting to let me just take a towel. So if you're wanting to blend something out and you got some harsh lines, you probably need to work a little bit quicker and blend them out. Because your paper is still warm, it tends to dry out a little quicker. So you end up kind of stuck with it. So there we go. So now I got a little bit more of a darker color in there. The circle is gone. Now I want to try and take out some of these marks in here. And it looks like still the same kind of thing. It's like some white little splotches in there that I wasn't really wanting. So I can go back into it and just kind of take those out by layering some of these other colors. So let me just give this a quick spritz. And we will go in here. Okay. Put some of the dark in there too. Now remember, paper is still warm. There we go. There we go. And then if you want to, you can end up doing some fun stuff here. So I want to make this like some little speckles. For some reason, it just came to my mind. This is not on the reference photo, but you know how I am. I tend to change things up. So I'm going to attempt to do this. I don't know if it's going to work though. We shall try. So let me get, you know, let me use the horsehair brush. Let's see if I can do this. So it's a really fluffy brush is all it is. And I want to add, I wonder if I can take that and just kind of drip. You know, let's go ahead and do it maybe a different way. Ooh, I got an idea. Let's take, hold on one second. This is kind of cool. It just came to my mind. That's probably not a good idea. Okay. I forgot that I was doing some paintings back there and it got some stuff in it. So let's try it. My idea is let's take some of this really dark purple and I'm going to try putting it in this little tray. And I want it really, really thick. And I'm just tapping on my brush. It's a really fluffy brush. Woo! That came really close to my flower there. Nope, still good. Flower has a spot now. Okay. I wanted to add some spots to it. So, so something new. And then let's go ahead and do that again. But let's do it with some of these brighter spots. Just got to get enough on my brush. Did you know I was actually flicking this? I know you guys cannot see this. It's probably too small, but I was literally flicking it with that horsehair brush and a piece of hair came off the brush. Yeah. It is that bad. Like I said, this brush here was horrible. Oop, getting some on my flower. That is fine. I'm just going to let those go. I really would like those to dry because I do not want them to smear. So if you did end up getting any on your flower, I would not suggest trying to wipe it off. Leave the spots. If the spots are going to be on there, let them dry. So that way, whenever you go on top of it, even though the spot shines through just a little bit, it still looks more natural than having a smear going across it. So do not smear your spots. Leave the spots. Go over your spots. Okay, I'm gonna try and wipe that brush off, but maybe this is a good reason to keep them. I might end up digging through my trash again later on, so I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna keep these to the side. I'm gonna call these my splatter brushes. Splatter? Maybe splatter brushes. Hard to say. Okay, so let me go ahead and take out my hair dryer. I'm gonna blow dry this real quick so that way we can set it. So I don't wanna turn you guys on mute for just a second. If you guys got any questions, feel free to ask. I will read them while I blow dry. So right, so finally got that dry, and as I can see, like after they dry, they just look like darker kind of speckles in there. So really cool. And then as you come up, it's got the lighter speckles in that, which ends up being a very, very pretty kind of look to it. So I like that. So we're going to go ahead and lay down our foundation, or at least our background colors for the little green stem here. And I don't think I'm going to use this big of a brush, even though that was an absolutely amazing brush here that I was using for the background. It's a number 14, and I bought these a while ago, but it's like Fumi. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like really doesn't want to focus. Like this camera hates focusing, but it's a number 19 or number 14 Fumi, and it definitely has this little tiny point that it goes to. Oh my gosh, amazing brush. I love that brush. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to the side. I may end up needing it again, not for sure, but I wish that, I think I actually have in the set of these Fumi ones, I got smaller little Fumis. I don't know, I just like saying that for some reason, just like a Fumi. It's like kind of like a Furby, except it's a Fumi. It must be its cousin. Maybe that's where it got its fur from a Furby. That was pretty cheesy, but it's okay. So this is a number 8 Fumi, and of course it's got the little bitty, like, don't mind my hands, little tip on it also. So this one here would probably be really nice to do a lot of the smaller details with it. I hope I think whenever I got this set, I'm really keeping my fingers crossed. I hope I stuck some, I stuck some in my acrylic brushes, and I see one, so there's got to be more. And then I'm hoping I stuck some over in my watercolor brushes. These are amazing. And I've never used them before, so this is the first time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to hop on over to our greens. And I know these are wet, so I'm going to actually move this tray because all I got is yellows and one lime green. We'll just save that for later. Okay, move this over, move this back into your guys' view. There we go. So now let's go ahead and look at I usually like to go lighter all the time with my colors. So if I go with our greens, we're going to go with a lighter green, and that way we can make it dark as we go. So start with light, work your way to the darks. Because otherwise with ink and it being so opaque, it could end up having trouble with your whites going on top of your lighter colors. Trying to lighten something is just so much harder than having to go dark or go light first and then go darker. So let me see what kind of greens, and they give you quite a bit of greens on here. So as I'm going down, I'm kind of looking, I guess I could have done a better color chart, and actually in reality I think I did. These little color swatches that I did are just horrible. I guess I can say what not to do. So let's go ahead and do, let's see here, 1, 2, 3. Let's do this one right here. I think that's like, well, no, let's go down to the brightest one. This little green guy right here. Little green guy. Sounds like a little alien. Like this little green man right here. So then again, I'm going to spray and mist my paper. And then of course I'm looking at my reference photo and going to make sure I get the right stem, because I kind of made some adjustments. Here, I need to spray this. Probably be so much better. I made some little adjustments to this stem. by making it a little bigger. Okay. It is like super quiet. Like, I don't know why, but it's just super quiet. I can hear like the cicadas outside, but there's like nothing else. It's almost kind of getting a little eerie. I don't think I'm really used to it because whenever I work, I end up working with like a TV going, or you know, something's noisy in the house. It ain't just eerily quiet. I don't know. It's kind of spooking me just a little bit. I think it would be cool if the if I could like hear you guys, like instead of having it to where, you know, I just have to read everything. If you guys were like chatting or something like that, and you can actually hear like a bunch of you know, like people talking and stuff amongst each other, it would feel a little bit more comfortable, I guess you should say. Boom. LOL. Oh, I get it now. I'm like, what? What did I do? Okay, thank you. Oh, and I just said that, and here comes a train. So, wow. Well, I guess if you ask for it, you receive. Now I've got to deal with a train. So, let's make this a little bit more, let's go up a notch. So I was working with this lighter green. I said I wanted to go to this green up here. And let's kind of take it. That is so funny. When you said that, it said boom, I was like kind of wondering what that meant. I was like, what's that mean? I think my blonde moment was like coming out or something. Yeah, that one goes over the top. And it looks like there is a line. There we go. And then there was a knot. Let's see here. And then that side, excuse me, and then that side was a little bit darker, so right after the knot. And see how I didn't go too much darker. If you look at the reference photo, it's like really, really dark. Well, I didn't go really, really dark yet because we still need to, we can always darken it later. We don't need to darken it right now, except for that one. This one here may end up blending a little bit with that one, so we want to make this one here maybe a little bit darker. There we go. Then we got that line. And then There we go. And this is going to be really light. As you can tell, it's not like in your face bold or anything like that. It is going to be light because we're just trying to get the concept between darks and our lights. Whenever it comes to detail, we will be taking out our pencils, and that's what we're going to be making all the difference in the detail of everything. So yeah, we don't have to worry too much right now. Okay, it looks like this color needs to go up there. Hold on. Okay. Now we have like this green. Probably needed to take a little bit out of that. This is like a really rich kind of green. It's probably not that rich though. And then it comes out on this side. And now we're going to go up from the stem from here. Now I can see right in here, looks like I missed some spots. Not this, but right in here looks like there's some purple and some purple in there. I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick, because otherwise I'm just gonna stare at it for like the longest time. And I don't really want to stare. Okay. That will end up needing a couple more layers on that. At least another layer once that dries. So I'm going to continue doing the same kind of thing. We're going to go with the lighter color first. And then we're going to work on the darker, a shade darker, not a whole lot darker, just a shade darker. There's noise in the house now. It's like distracting. Now everything's going off. Yeah, I really shouldn't have asked for noise in the house. Now it's too much noise. Now I got noise in the house. I've got trucks revving up their engines going down the road. I had trains. Too much noise. Okay, we're gonna have to spray this down again. Looks like it already dried. And we're gonna take a darker green again. Okay, which one did I grab on that one? Take it up and around. And then we're going to end up coming down. I'm going to leave some of that white because there's some highlight in there that I'd really like to get with my pencil. So I'm actually going to be leaving that. And it's going to look like a solid mess. It just happens that way. And then once you, basically you're always going to start out with a mess for a background or a mess for the, for your base tone or your base layer. But once you go to your next layer, it will get better. So you can add some shadow in this. Just a little bit of shadow. I mean, you can basically do this without having the actual Inktense block or the Inktense pencils. So even if you just have a set of these blocks, you can still create detail with this. You just got to add layer after layer. You don't necessarily need the pencils. It's just one of those things where if you're like me, you gotta have, if you could like one, you're gonna want the other. So you might as well, you know, get them both and use them. Wow, now my shower is even making noises. It's making me think, oh my gosh, I've been watching like these spooky shows on TV, and one of them is like, what is it called? Oh my god, it's such a goofy show. It's like paranormal, like caught on camera and stuff like that. So I've been watching some spooky shows, and now it's like things are happening. I'm like, what's going to happen in my house? I wonder if something's just going to fly across the room and then the shower starts dripping or something. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't know. I need to stop watching those spooky shows. All right, so we got the base, I think, on that. I think I like the way that looks. Just how it is. I think there's a little sliver of green kind of shining in through here. We'll put it in there. There we go. As far as the flower goes, swear now I'm hearing noises and it's scaring me. Okay. Your flower is going to have some shadowing to it too. But I do believe we would have to mix it up. I don't know if I want to go. It looks like the background would kind of shine on it, more of a purpley kind of look to it, or a pinkish kind of look. So, or even a light, yeah, like a light purple for the shadows of the flower. But what I'd really like to do is work on this little ladybug too, because he's so cute. Let me go ahead and add my next layer to this here. That looks good. Let's go ahead and work on this little ladybug, because he's just too adorable, and he's got like kind of some blues. Even though he's supposed to be black, the reflection is kind of like a blue, and then it's got the black in it. So let's go ahead and take, yeah, let's start out a little lighter with him. Yeah, I'm going to kind of get down like a pencil, kind of hold the brush like you do a pencil, because it is just so little bitty. Like, he's real little bitty. There. I mean, you don't really have to do much with him. He's just so tiny. Okay. Real tiny ladybug. Let's go ahead and get some of this black. And I'm going to go in here and just kind of make a little bit of detail. Somebody decided to weed eat. It's like 8:14. I wonder if it's even, can they even see? Sounds like they're giving it heck. They sound like they're angry weed eaters. All right, let's go ahead and add a little bit more to his little legs are supposed to be black. Looks like there's some stuff on there. I don't know why I did that. Oop. Looks like I'm gonna have to add some water. Okay. I wonder if this one here is darker, because we got these little circles to kind of do. Oh. It would probably help just add a light spray of water, maybe just a little bit. Okay, and then let's go up here and do this little, it's like a little black on here. And he's got one on this little shell, like right around the edge on that. Really should be doing this with a pencil though instead. Would be so much easier. I think we should just go ahead and finish the rest with him on with a pencil. That way we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Now I don't know if you guys can see him, but he's got some little spots there. Let's see what I got. Zoom in. Okay. So let me go ahead and just lift that up just so you guys can see. I had a message said zoom in on the bug. I don't know if it looks blurry though. But yeah, there's a little ladybug. Aww. Which we'll have to work on them a little bit more whenever we start doing those pencils. Now, I wanted to add a splash of some color here, but I was thinking, let's just go with this blue. Let's see if I can't water down this blue enough to make it more transparent. Maybe I can throw some white in there. There we go. Ooh, I like that. Let's go ahead and spritz spritz this paper a little bit and let's make some of this shadow. Ooh, let's take this one. I like this one better. Just trying to make a shadow. I'll put those lines back, but I may have sprayed it too much. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to add a little bit more of a shadow to this one. Okay. And that just added some of this color here. And I added in white. So I mixed the white and that blue, like gray kind of tone together to create this. Okay. Spray that a little bit. Down to the edge there. And then kind of come up. I'm going to mist that just a little bit. Rinse out my brush, and I'm just going to kind of soften that out. If it ends up softening out too much, we will come back in. Okay, that looks good. So now I want to make a little bit darker of a line. So I'm taking that same type of blue and just kind of drawing a more opaque line, which quite frankly I can do probably a little bit easier with the pencils. Because that looks like there's another line kind of coming in through here. I'll draw that. And it's some more opaque lines. Ooh, and when that happens, that can happen. But it's okay because it's still wet, it's not dry. There we go. It was just way too dark. Didn't want it that dark. Okay, and now we got to do the same thing on this area here with this flower leaf. It's like white out. I don't know why it's like white out. I hope you guys are seeing this okay. We're just kind of making some shadowy colors there. Okay. Just kind of make this area here. This little tip here is a little bit darker, so we're going to do that. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. Oh my goodness, the ladybug scared me. Wow, that is pretty bad. Okay, so I'm being told to zoom in a little bit closer, maybe, so you guys can see. I don't know if you guys are having issues, like, you know, it could be if it's not showing up very good. Let me try turning off this light. Maybe. Does that help out any, like, at all? It's like, now I got a shadow. It's really weird. It's the way the, I tried to get it to where you couldn't really see a shadow by turning on a lamp light, but it's almost like blinding it out just a little bit. And I'm not quite for sure how to fix that, except for just kind of showing some of the stuff that I was doing by holding it up. So it looks to me like this little area here. Let me go ahead and fix that. If it still doesn't look right, let me know if that actually helped out or not. Move. No. Well, I mean, do you guys, I mean, I usually put this to where you guys can see the colors. I don't know if you really need me to move the colors out of the way, if that's bothering you or not. I'm not quite for sure. I'm getting some comments on my other line saying that the tray's in the way. I don't know. You guys be the judge. If the tray's in the way, let me know and I will move the tray out of the way if you guys don't want to see me working on those colors. And if you want me to move it out of the way and just keep the painting to where you can see it, or if you want me to keep the tray in and keep it the way it is, let me know on there. Let me go ahead and get some of these colors here and try and fill in around this outside, because it's got a little bit too much of a color differentiation. I don't even know how to say that. That's really hard too. Okay, that looks better. That looks better. Oh, and there's an area right in here. I think I got a darker color on that. I don't know how red got in that. Okay, a lot better now. Okay, good deal. Could be a little closer. Okay. I'm not for sure. I'm pretty sure I think the camera has everything to do with it. It is a white flower, so it tends to have trouble with the color differentiation between the white and the other colors around it. Let me go ahead and blow dry this. So I'm going to mute it real quick so that way we can get that done. We got 30 minutes. I'm going to see if I can hurry up and get on over to our Inktense pencils so we can finish up some of these details and get the rest of this flower looking more like a flower with a ladybug on it. So hold on one moment. Alright, so now that I don't have a hair dryer anymore because I just I killed the power in the living room. It's great, huh? We got no power in the living room now. I don't know what it is. I know it's not my hair dryer. I even plugged in another light. It does not like things. Like, this house is built for having candles in every room. Might as well just live like without electricity. All right, so anyways, besides that, let me go ahead and get out our Derwent Inktense pencils that are back behind me. So this set, I got the full set of these also. We are going to have to lay them out so that way I can see them just a little bit better without hopefully knocking any of them down. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our color chart. Looks like there's a whole bunch of colors on here. They should be similar to the ones on the back, but whenever I worked with these before, I've noticed colors on here that wasn't on the back. Like, they were just totally different. So, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I guess they can't mix everything identical, to the same, but, oh well. So let me go ahead and get some of my greens together so we can work on these leaves. Let's see here, felt green, fern. I'm thinking felt green, fern, and Lonian green. So I'm going to take out the fern green, felt green, and the Lonian green, I think it is. I don't know. I am horrible with words, so I think pretty much if any of you have been on here before with me, know that me and pronunciation is really bad. Okay, so here's felt green, and then we want fern, and the linoleum, whatever that color name is. That's iron green. It's Indian ink. See, I can't find my green that I'm looking for. Oak, mallard. Checkers, green. Oh, this might be it. Nope, there it is. I found it. Okay, so we got 3 colors here. And we want to make sure they're sharpened. Really don't like using this sharpener for it. Just gets them too sharp. And since it is kind of a softer lead, it's not really necessarily what I want. Let's go for the little bitty one. Okay, perfect. Oh, do ladybug first? So I'm getting a request saying to do the ladybug first. Okay. All right. So well, anyways, these 3 greens, I'll go ahead and do the ladybug first since it was requested on. Maybe this person needs to get on there and start requesting it on the comment link. Just being a butt. Let's see here. Okay, so I know this person too. So let me go ahead and get out the reds. So, okay, those are going to be my leaf colors. My reds for my ladybug, I want to go. We are going to go, and we have to go dark with him. So I'm going to get out the dark purple for the shadow. So we want to go purple. Dark purple. So let's go ahead and get out the dark purple. If I can find it. Dark purple. Violet. Where are you? Dark purple. Okay. So we want to go dark purple. We want to go definitely need our white. Let's see here. Some bright reds. We got chili red, hot red, poppy red. We need more of a rich kind of red. So I'm gonna say hot red or chili red. I'm gonna say chili red and We got the purple and this, is it Shiraz? I think there's like a Shiraz right there. So we'll do Shiraz and chili red. I think I said chili red. Yeah, chili red, Shiraz. Shiraz. So chili red and Shiraz, and then do we need a black and a dark blue. So we'll do, which one's the darkest black? I think the Chinese ink is pretty dark, or ink black. Let's go ink black, maybe. Where are my blacks? Chocolate, ink black. Okay, and then we'll do the blue. That's like the Payne's gray. Actually, the blue is probably a Payne's gray. So that whole time I was doing that flower, we were probably using a Payne's gray that looked like a blue to me. So Payne's gray. So we're going to use Payne's gray again. Payne's gray. And that's something. Pick that one up really quick. All right, so let's just use these colors. Now I know I took out quite a bit of colors on you guys to do the ladybug. We've got quite a few here. So let's go ahead and start out with our chili red for some of the brighter colors of the ladybug. So it's going to go right around here. He's got a little bit of a brighter color. Looks like he's got a highlight in there. Around a highlight. And we'll just have to be careful with this one because we'll end up having to put white in and around here. That way we make sure it kind of stays, doesn't really go too like all solid red. I'm gonna go ahead and put some white down in here. White in there because he's got some reflections, and we could always use the block, like go back to the block, use the brush and take and use it for highlights because the block ends up being a little bit brighter. Now I've got my chili, well, we went through chili red, that was more of a brighter red. Now we're going to use the Shiraz color. And that's going to be more of a darker kind of red. It's more of a purpley kind of red. And we're going to put this in here kind of lightly. Probably need to take that black real quick. Where's ink black? And we're going to draw a line. Okay. I'm also going to take and make these circles just a little bit more of a circle. There. Kind of doing his little antennas here. Little leg, kind of just little sticking out there. Okay, now we're going to do something kind of fun. We're going to do a little bit more of this chili red on top of the Shiraz, just a light color. We're also going to go in there and put more of the chili red on his bum, because we want it mixed in with this purple, this dark purple, because there is a shadow, but I just don't want him to be purple. So we have to mix in chili red with purple, and that darkens it up. Where's my chili red? Okay, chili red right through here. Let's do some Shiraz. All right. So I think we got our little ladybug the way we want it. So I'm going to kind of zoom in, or not really zoom in, but I'm going to pick it up and kind of show you what it looks like, because I just added all those different colors in this one little ladybug. And so he looks kind of like a little mess. I mean, he just looks kind of scribbly. But all my colors are already blended down on the little ladybug. So hopefully whenever I go in with my watercolor brush, the colors will be right where I want them. If he ends up coming out too much with water, which this brush is, the only thing I don't like about it. This is just a normal brush right here. And that's a reflection. Alright, as you notice, I just switched brushes. I got angry at that water brush. It was like basically putting out way too much water than I wanted. So now our ladybug is starting to come to life. Gonna go over those circles just a tad. Run the line around his back. And now comes his little leg. Now comes his little head. Okay. Oops, too much water. It was like a water droplet came out. So there's our little ladybug. So he's kind of cute. And you can always wait till he dries completely, so that way you can add some more of the highlight in there on the little ladybug. But he is just adorable, and you got to add more color to him. This right here is just the first layer, but I'd really like to put a little bit more of a brighter red in there to kind of make that stand out just a little bit more. But I have to wait until it dries. So until the meantime, while that is drying, I know we only got 10 minutes, and this is linoleum. And we still got more to do on this. So we may be going into next week on this little flower, because I am having too much fun, and he's not done yet. Fern green. Okay. And then I would take some of this white. Kind of go around the edges here where that highlight is. Yeah, we may end up running into next week with this one, because I definitely want to finish it. I don't think that we should leave it left unfinished. So if any of you guys are wanting to see this one here done, definitely need to come by next week, because we will continue working on this. This is really a lot of fun. There is a lot of layering, and that is just gorgeous. Like, I absolutely love it. And let me go ahead and show you just by putting some of that in. We're making a highlight. We're making these darker greens. Little ladybug's so cute. I think I can actually possibly add a little bit of the flaming red. Is it flaming red? Oh, it is a hot red? Hot red, not flaming red. Let me add some of this to them. I think this ladybug needs some spice in it. Okay. So looky how cute it is. Just by adding another layer to it, we can get the ladybug looking like that. Ain't he adorable? He is so cute. I love the little ladybug. So it looks like it just peel them off of the little flower petal. So yeah, I mean, we're still gonna have to work on this. I won't be able to get all this done with the flower tonight, but I will be keeping out all my colors, so that way we can just pick them back up. We can start working again, adding some more colors to this. We'll be able to add and finish off both of these stems, and then we'll go in here and finish up some of these flowers. Now that will be for next week. I am so glad that you guys are on here enjoying this channel. And if you could leave a like on the channel, that will definitely help me out, and it'll put it out there for everybody else to see. Maybe somebody's interested in learning how to do like a little ladybug, or doing like using Inktense and just kind of experimenting with these. This is definitely a good one for them to watch. And also to have more people join in means more talking, more communicating, more having fun, and then getting excited about every Tuesday just joining in for an artist chat and live stream where we can just cover different things, ask different questions, and so forth. But definitely give a like. That definitely helps out. And then I'll end up adding the stuff in the description after the video. I usually go in and I'll add in everything. I'll have in my link to, I think I have my Fine Art America. I got my website, Facebook artist group. If you're not in on the Facebook artist group, there will be a link on that also. So you're more than welcome to join in on the link. I will leave that behind, like after the live stream. So if you go to it now, there's nothing there. I will end up putting that on later. And then also any donations, Cash App, I got that in there for anybody who wants to help out and kind of add more supplies to try out, or maybe the art subscription boxes, you know, anything and everything definitely helps toward the channel. So if you guys do put in a donation on the Cash App, I will put that toward probably doing another box and just kind of critiquing it and kind of going over it. Some of those little art subscription boxes, should I say, just something fun we can do. So every bit of it will go to the channel. It helps out with the art supplies that I get. If I'm, you know, needing a pencil or running out of a pencil or something like that, I can easily go get it. So everything that you guys do absolutely helps, and you all are amazing. I love you all. So you all have a good night, and I will see you all next Tuesday where we will finish off this Inktense painting. See you all next time. Bye, you guys.